Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome. Today we're going to be exploring the Magician card in 3 different decks. We're going to look in the general meaning and also looking into the symbols of these 3 different decks. I have one Reader and Wait, and the other one is a Hermetic Tarot from actually Godfrey Dawson. And the third one is, the Kim Krantz Wild Unknown Tarot. This is actually a very simple symbol, but we're going to dive into that one as well, okay? So the Magician here, we started with the Fool. Tarot is actually 78 cards, consisted of 78 cards. We have 22 of the Major Arcana. It actually represents and tells the story of the fool, the foolish man that starts on his new journey, which we analyzed in a prior video. This is the foolish man. He actually steps into the unknown, takes a leap of faith, and just, explores new possibilities for him and her. So in this one, the Magician actually, what he is initially like a step-by-step becoming. What we have here in the original tarot, as we know, the Magician, he has on top of his head the symbol of eternity. Initially, that's the first thing that popped into my, took my attention. He has many things happening here, but the symbol of eternity actually symbolizes his power is being unlimited. Okay, so you can actually interpret this for yourself as well. If this card is coming, when you pull it out, it tells you that you have unlimited power, even though you don't feel it, even though you don't see it, maybe you haven't used it yet for this long, but you still, even though you don't express it, you didn't utilize it, you still have this unlimited power. Okay, so we're gonna go one by one. We have the Roman numerical number 1 here. 0, the Fool was the 0, the Magician is the number 1. Okay, so he symbolizes mastery, skill, and power of manifestation. But while I also want to point out, we have another card for the Star card here. I'm going to cover it up a little bit. We have this beautiful lady, and she is actually pouring some water to the ground and watering the soil, and also feeding the water as well. This is overall right away manifestation. This represents, we're going to dive deep inside this one as well. However, when it comes to magician actually indicates that you have the power. There's actually a power within required. The mastery, skill, those things needs to be used in order to be accomplishing your goals. Okay, so we have here as the symbols, the figure is the Magician, and he's standing and by himself here, and one of his hand is pointing upwards. He has a magic wand in his hand, and the other one is actually pointing downwards. So as above, so below. This is actually about like the hermetic teaching as well. We have the Hermetic Tarot. We're going to get to that as well. So you can pull all this creative energy from the skies, from the heavens to the earth. Okay, that's what he's representing here. And he's the ability to channel the divine energy into practical action, basically. So if we ask on day-to-day experiences, how can you channel this energy? And we start, like I said, with the foolish man. This is actually a symbolizing spirit of ether. Ether, known as the place that the information actually stored above the earth, and it is believed and it's discussed in some teachings that all these inventors, the well-known musicians, and all these guys like the Einstein and Tesla, as we know, they all pull this information during meditation. Okay, they are deep meditators, and Einstein describes it as like a 10-minute sleep in every 15 minutes of work. But it is basically meditation that channels energy, and the information comes through, the inspiration comes through, and the Magician actually turns that into practical action. When the inspiration comes through, he follows that with an action here. The hands are representative of that. He has all the tools in his hand, and we have the minor arcana tools here. The Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles. We have each symbol in front of him, which indicates that he has resources. Okay, so this is your resources. You have the fire, you have the earth, you have the sword as the word, and cup as the emotions. So you have all the mental power and maybe even material things with the Pentacles energy in order to manifest the things. You have access to it. He's wearing a white and a red robe, and his belt is actually, you can see the snake here. Snake indicates also a new cycle, a new beginning. So he has the power to reset the timeline. Okay, I don't know if this is something written, but it just came to me as like an information here. And the infinity symbol actually on his head, above his head, like I mentioned before, symbolizes his infinite potential and continuous cycle that he's in to create and transform his life and the lives of the ones around him. The red and the white robes, the magician robes, are often red, and which symbolizes the action part. The white actually symbolizes purity, wisdom, his knowledge he gathered along the way. Okay, and there's a balance in between them with the red roses and the white lilies. I think that those are lilies, and yeah, they're depicting, exactly reflecting him, his whatever he has inside and whatever he's carrying within him outside. It is reflecting outside of his garden as well. Okay, so this is basically your thoughts, your actions create the world surrounding you as well. Okay, the flowers in the garden, and we said, okay, I put some notes here. I'm taking a look at my notes here. Yeah, this garden indicates his potential, growth and potential, that he's growing the garden. But also, I like in my I'm interpreting this as the symbols of that, his reflection of what's happening within him. And the wand, basically creativity, inspiration, the power, turning the ideas into action and taking charge, control of a situation. So when this comes forward, even if you're in a stagnant mood, maybe it's been taking a while for you to get the inspiration, take the necessary action, and maybe you're having a hard time to connect with those emotions and the thoughts, the ether, the inspiration. This is basically telling you, start doing things, because your energy will follow when you start taking small actions, taking charge and taking control, and knowing that you're not the victim but the creator of the world, so your own world. Okay, like I said, the themes of this card is manifestation, creation, resourcefulness, focus on willpower, initiative and action. So it's all about taking action. Like the star card is a manifestation card, but it has like a different tone to it, okay, compared to the magician. A star has a different tone to it. I'm gonna get to this the hermetic tarot. It has a different symbols here, and it has different like additional symbols. Okay, we have this here, the Roman soldier. Actually, I'm gonna cover him up, I'm sorry. So he's holding the staff of Hermes in his hand, two snakes wrapping around each other, as you can see right now. Yes, and that is actually representative of the staff of Hermes, is as above so below, like I mentioned. Whatever that you have in the ether, in your mind, you just can manifest it. You manifest it on the planet of this earth. Okay, and this magus of power we have here, the symbol of a winged mercurial crest appears at the top of the card. As we can see, this is a symbol of the planet Mercury, and Mercury actually represented by the Gemini and Virgo. Okay, and Gemini or Virgo, and we have the Gemini represents the third house of communications, and Virgo is the sixth house of wealth. Okay, so Mercury actually carries these energies as well. Let's get to the part that the snake-like creatures that issue from beneath the crest are similar to those found in caduceus held by, let's see, the radiating figure of Mercury to the left of the card. Okay, in this one though, let me see. He has the magical wand in his hand, beautifully holding that. We have the wings of power here, the wings of creativity. Also, he has a burning candle here, and we have, like, this guy doesn't have the burning candle in his hand, but his magic wand looks like a candle here. Candle, I usually interpret this as a symbol of wishes, okay, because that's like a tradition in Christianity and some other religions as well. You go to church, you light up a candle, you ask for a desire from the Creator to be served, to be given to you. So in that sense here, he has his wish already, like he has his vision with the candle lighting, it's burning right there, so it can actually bring it to him faster. He laid out his tools in front of him rather than just putting on a desk. He's actually draw a circle around him and basically attracting his desires in a very planned way. And he's like, he has a flower right here. He's not really surrounded by flowers, and the drawing is not extremely realistic of the flowers, but still that represents of the creativity, creative energy of life, okay? And the magician is seen as a communicator with the gods and a storer of knowledge, which he willingly dispenses, similar to Mercury, who in mythology is the winged messenger of the gods. Thus, the magician, through his actions and exhibition a will, can bring unity between the divine, intellectual, and physical worlds, okay? By intelligence, the idea of God is conceived, and by willpower, works of good nature is accomplished. The altar at his feet contains the symbols of four suits, like I mentioned, swords and wands and cups, and the pentagram as actually, so it represents the pentacles energy, okay? Okay, so we have actually, it's the Star of David. Yes, there's also a burning candle and triangle symbol for Earth. The picture of Mercury appears in radiate around him. So this is actually, in this one, symbolizes wisdom, skill, adaptation, and originality. I want to keep this deck as well because it has a lot of good symbols here. We have a bird right there, but the head of the other bird is actually covered. This is, I mentioned Gemini. This is representative of the Gemini energy, the dual part of the Gemini. Geminis tend to be air sign, not tend to be, they are air signs, but they tend to be indecisive in certain areas. This can be actually representative of maybe coming to a decision, making your mind about like creating that success, creating that your vision. So you cannot be double-minded here. Like, even though it represents a Gemini, I feel like you have to embody the energy, unlimited energy of the magician here. Even though you don't feel certain, you still have to take a leap of faith and step into one information, okay, one purpose. We have the magician in this Wild Unknown Tarot deck. We have very simple symbols right here, and the symbol of eternity is right there, and we have a beautiful cat-like animal. Basically, I'm gonna just, this is a cheetah. It feels like a cheetah to me. Cheetahs are extremely fast animals, by the way, one of the fastest animals on the, I think it's, yes, one of the fastest animals on the planet Earth. And this indicates that this is a very fast energy. It's a wild cat, but it is a fast cat. The magician card here is boundless, expansive, whereas many of Major Arcana deal with stillness or aspects of the mind. This card is all about action and action, taking action, getting things done, following your inspirations, and not to be afraid of new beginnings, okay? And we have 4 elements here, 4 cards. That's just actually symbolizing how powerful the magician is. And when this card comes through any one of these decks, it doesn't matter, maybe in a different deck as well, it means that you have the power to create the things that you want, even though you don't feel like it, even though you're not maybe exposing yourself to it, maybe you haven't done it, doesn't matter. But this basically tells you you have the power, even though it's not visible yet, okay? And all right, my beautifuls, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you do, don't forget to give us on a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of these, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I wish you all a magical day. Bye.